be represented with another attribute given for page directory, which is called content type. Okay, content type is equals to text oblique HTML. Understood? And another attribute you see, language is equals to Java. That means here you see in between scriptlets we are using the syntax of Java. So that is the meaning of language is equals to Java, right? So understood my point here, all of you? Yeah, like Sai and Venkat.
Yeah, yes,
See
Chandra.
what are the attributes we given? Yeah, what are the attributes we given here? Content type, then followed by import, and then language. Okay, like this. So if we executed this program, you see that. Just one minute. So we have to start the server first. Now server is starting here. Let me check. Some issue is there. Yeah, let me restart Eclipse so that it solves the problem. Now here you see server is starting. Yes, now server is started. Now let me execute this. Now here you see. So today's date, the time displayed here, right? Okay. So like how today's date time is displayed? Yes. We used a predefined class from Java language which is called date. Okay. So that the date is taken from a package called util package, java.util package, right? Java.util.date. So that's the package we imported here, right? So what are the attributes we discussed here? Content type, and then import, and then language. What language? What language representing here? Yes. So which language syntax we used in between the scriptlet? So scriptlet means this one you see. So which class means see is equals to new date of, like this we written. So which language syntax this is? Yes, Java language syntax. That's what we specified as another attribute called language is equals to Java. Right? Is it clear? Sai and Venkat?
Yes, Chandra.
Yeah, fine. And come for another one. And we discussed about buffer also. So what about buffer? Another attribute which is called buffer. What about that buffer?
Buffer reader.
We
Okay.
discussed already about buffer.
Buffer is like how many KBs the page will be.
That means how much memory
The page
needed
contains.
to
Yeah.
process the request, right?
Yeah.
That's what we discussed in the last session. And what about implicit object? What about implicit object?
Out.
No, can you define what is meant by implicit object?
The config object. The object that is being created by JSP at the time of initial, like object creation.
Yeah, like
When JSP
where?
container is creating the object, JSP object, then it will
No,
also
no.
create some implicit.
What are the objects generating by a JSP container itself? Known as known as implicit objects, right?
Okay.
Yes. What are the implicit objects we use till now? Out and request, right?
Yeah. Like config.
Yeah, config is also, and comfort. So I think already we discussed the database connection program, right? Sai, hello.
Yes, Chandra. Yes.
So like just a moment, let me check. So explanation is completed on database connection with JSP. The last session,
Yes.
is it completed?
Which one?
Database connection from JSP.
Yeah, database connection with JSP is completed.
Yeah, fine. And today, like not today, right now, we're going to discuss how to handle exceptions. That is from JSP. Yes, what is meant by exception? That's already we discussed in previous sessions, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
What is meant by exception? Yeah, Venkat.
Abnormal termination of the program.
Yes. So that means if we want to represent abnormal termination of a program, then we can handle it with exceptions. Okay, so how we can handle exceptions in case of JSP? Just you see that. Now, here we created a HTML page with two text fields with names N1 and N2, right? Okay, so you see, we created the first text field here to enter first value. Okay, here we created first text field with the name N1, and second field is also created with name N2. Then after submit button is created, right? So after the values are entered into these two text fields, we have to submit. So when we submitted these two values, yes, those values passes to error page 1.jsp. That means here. Now, in this JSP, we are retrieving the values from request object. Yes. Now you tell me how the data stores in the request object. That means when user send any data, okay, so how it stores in the request object. So request is another implicit object here. Can you tell me the procedure? Any one of you from both, Sai or Venkat?
We are using get parameter, Sandra,
Yeah,
to get
actually,
the data from the HTML page using the name
yes,
of the text box
yes,
into the request object.
yes. So like when user send any data, then the data stores in the request object in the form of key and value, right?
Yeah,
Yes. Now that is the request object. So it creates the data in the form of key and value and then stores the data in the request object. Now from the request object, the data retrieves by using a method called get parameter. So for get parameter method, and we give a key, then it returns the associated value. Okay. So that means we assign that value, first value into num1 and the second value into num2, right? But actually here user send the data in the form of numerical values. Even though numerical values sent by the user, okay, container stores those values in string format. That is in request object. Okay, fine. So after the data retrieved, after the values retrieved in the string format, we must convert those values into numerical format. That's what we done here. Like we used a predefined class which is called integer. So from that integer class, a method is given which is called parseInt method, right? Okay. So by using that parseInt method, what we done here, we converted the string formatted numerical values into actual numerical values. That is here like this. Okay. and then we assign those two values into A and B. So after assignment is completed, then we divided the first value with the second one, right? Understood? Is it clear right now? Sai and Venkat.
Yes, Chandra.
Yeah. So finally, we got the resultant value into C, and here we are showing the resultant value as an output. But so for example, if given second value is 0, that means if we given the second value as 0, then what is the resultant value we will get here? What is the resultant value we will get?
But Chandra, can you ask again?
See, actually how many values we given as the input here?
Two values.
That is from the user side, 2 values.
Yeah.
So for example, if given second value is 0,
Yeah. Divide by zero error.
so that actually exception rises, right?
Yeah. Exception raises.
So how we can handle the exception? That's right. Here you see another attribute given for page directive, which is called error page.
Okay.
Okay, error page is equals to some JSP name we given. That means here the meaning is in this JSP page the exception related message displays. Okay, so here is it. That exception object creates here and shows that value as output. Okay, so output is nothing but exception message. So to show the exception message, see here we used one more attribute for page directive, which is called is error page is equals to true. So what is the meaning of that? Here error page is equals to some JSP file name we given here, but in case of another JSP file, what we written is error page is equals to true, like that we written. So what is the meaning of that? That means that exception object available in this JSP page only. That means what is the exception object generated by JSP container here? It is available only in this JSP page. That is the meaning of that. Okay, is it clear right now? Sai and Venkat.
Yes, Chandra.
Yes, Chandra.
Yeah. So, like, what are the new attributes we discussed for page directive here?
Content type, error page, and is error page.
Yeah, like today's discussed page directive attributes are content type, language, is error page, and error page. Okay, and in the last session, buffer and then import.
Yeah.
So this is also one of the interview question. What are the attributes for page directive?
Chandra,
Yeah, tell me again.
yeah, here is it needed to group the exceptions by type, like how we did, like it is like SQL exception or like arithmetic exception, like that?
Yes, yes, we can.
So everything we can place under the error page like that.
Yes, yes. This is especially we created to show the exception related message.
Okay, we are not catching the exception here.
Yeah, actually exception object is, yes, we are catching. Okay,
Okay.
exception object is generating by this JSP container.
Okay.
Okay, and what is the exception object generated by JSP container? It is available in this page.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, here you see.
Yeah.
What is the JSP name we given here? In that JSP only, this exception object is available.
Okay.
Understood right now?
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, fine. And what about this ID?
Yeah, Chandra, that's what. Even I have the same question. Like, instead of you have only mentioned like exception, can you write down
Yes.
it as arithmetic expression?
Yes,
Exception.
it is a specific. Arithmetic exception means it is a specific, right?
Yeah, I mean, can you show in this like how are you going to write it?
Yeah, only the thing is, here if you want to, so for example, like this, if we want to show any message, then we must use like this exception dot get message, so that you will get what type of exception generated there or generates there. So for example, if arithmetic exception object generated, then it will show arithmetic exception related message. If SQL exception generated, actually we are not generating exception, right? That is not a mandatory process. Container is generating itself, right?
Yeah.
So whatever it will exception generated by the container, yes, we have to show it with exception object. That means here you see as a common. Common means whatever it will be exception object generated by container. So we show that here, right?
Yeah, this is for common thing.
Yeah, common it is.
Okay, Chandra.
So if we want to display the related message, then we must use method called get message method, right?
Yeah.
That is the meaning. Okay.
Okay, Chandra.
Yes, any queries? Sai and Magat.
No, Chandra.
Yeah, fine. Then come for another one here. Like tell me what are the implicit objects we discussed here right now?
Content type, error
What
page,
are the
is error page.
no. That is a no.
Okay, okay.
Is error page.
Just visit objects.
List objects are nothing but out, request,
Yeah, config,
okay,
out request.
config, and even exception also. Exception object is
Yes,
generated by the container itself, right?
yeah, okay.
So that we can call it as implicit. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. And you come for one more implicit object. Okay, fine. Now, here, what are the concepts we discussing is very important. Okay, that's why just I'm asking the queries like what is fundamentalist object. So, are you getting my points?
Yeah, yes, Chandra.
Now, let me show one simple website. Just wait. So, I think both of you know about JNTU, right?
Yeah, yes.
That related website I'm showing here. You see that here. So, some different options given here. You see home administration, something like that. Okay, like this. Administration, some sub options. But clearly you see, so at the top of the page, some heading is given. Some heading is given here, right? And then at the bottom of the page, some content like address, pin code, like this given here. And here this is the main content. So, for example, if we selected examinations director, so content is changed, but remaining unchanged, right? Understood? So, okay, here you see, this is a heading, content. So, image generated as a content, and then footer. Okay. So, whatever it will be the option selected here, you will get like that. So, for example, if we selected foreign relations director, you see, page is showing, but header same, remains unchanged, content, footer. And let me show, let me select one more option. Okay, like innovative technical center. See this, content is changed, footer, header, like that, right? Understand the point here? Okay, is it clear right now? So, whatever it will be the option we selected here, okay, headers and footers are not changing. Only contents are changing like that. Okay, here main thing is we have to create header and footer separately, and then we have to add for each and every page. Okay, that's what we have to do here. Now, to do that, another directive is given in JSP, which is called include directive. So what is the directive we discussed previously? What is the directive? We discussed it previously.
Page directive.
Yeah, Sai and Venkat.
Page directive.
Yeah, you are right. Right now we are going to discuss another type of directive, you see. So clearly you see, we created a header. Okay. So let me show that separately. You see that. So header. Like this we created a header. And separately we created footer also. So I'm showing the output separately. Okay. You see this is a footer. Okay, this is a footer page. Now, so this is a like apart from header and footer, we created one more page. You see some with some content. So which content? Simply you see like this. So business logic should be here. So which content we want to show as the output? That content should be presented here, right? And for example, if we want to bring the content what we created from header.jsp, yes, we should include or we should use a directive called include. So include file is equals to header.jsp, so that JSP container brings the data what we created in header.jsp into this page. And in the same way, footer.jsp content also. So finally what is the output you will get? Content from header.jsp and the text displays as it is, and the content created from footer.jsp, right? Like that. Let me show. You see, header, some text, and then followed by footer. Understood?
Chandra, is
Is it
there
clear
any?
right now?
Yeah, Chandra.
Yeah, tell me, Sai.
Yeah, is there any specific reason that we have to create the header and footer in the JSP files, or we can also create them in the HTML files, right?
Yes, no problem at all.
No problem.
You can create header and footer either in HTML or in JSP,
And what about the main, even main too?
right? Main content.
Even that can be written in HTML, right?
No, that should be JSP because business logic should be
Okay,
JSP,
that's
right?
why just be in JSP. Yeah,
Yeah.
if there is a business logic here.
Yes, yes. Business logic should be associated with JSP only, right?
Yes.
That's very important. Understood?
Yes, Chandra.
Is it clear right now? Yeah. That is about second type of directive, which is called include. actions. JSP actions. See, here the discussed things are like this. So let me show the example on actions. So what is meant by action and how we can use actions concept here, you see. Okay, now here you see. So here we created one text field and a password field with submit button, right? That is to enter some username and password by the user. Okay. So when we submitted the given username and password, then those values passes to the JSP page what we specified here. That means here. Now in this JSP, the values are getting from request object and then assigned into two different variables like username and password. Okay, these two variables we declared already in the declaration section. Now tell me how we can make the declarations in case of JSP. There are Sai and Venkat. How we can make the declarations?
Same way.
That is also we discussed. That is also we declared. We discussed in the last session, right?
Yeah, the same way we can declare in JSP also, right? So then
Yeah. Tell me the syntax. That's what I'm asking.
between the scriptlets we have to define them. It's like
So separate syntax. Separate syntax is there. Please check.
separate syntax.
Yeah, scriptlet followed by exclamatory
Yeah,
symbol, right?
exclamatory, yeah. Even these require exclamatory, right? If you scroll above,
Which one?
the string username password.
No, 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 no. This is only scriptlet, normal scriptlet.
Yeah,
But
no, the
whereas this
above
is
one. Yeah, this
because
requires. Yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
thought
this
you
is
were asking about them.
yeah, exclamatory should be there in the
Yeah, yeah.
declaration.
Yes, yes.
That's very important.
For declaration, yeah.
So when we want to create any variables or objects, then we must create them in the declaration section. Okay, fine. Now, after username and password retrieved into these two variables, username and password, we done some comparison here. Yes. How we done the comparison logic you see with a method called compare to method. Okay. If the given username is at call. Please wait. Yeah. How we read in the comparison logic? Like this with comparative method, right? If ever the given username and password is admin, then you see we forwarded the request to another JSP page which is called success.jsp. So is it clear right now? So what we done here? Simply we forwarded the request to another JSP. Now to forward a request, here you see this is the action. This is called action. We used an action called JSP colon forward. And that page equals success.jsp. Just a minute please. Sorry for the disturbance. Here you see. So what we written here? JSP colon forward. That means the request forwards to success.jsp, right? Otherwise means if any one of the anyone means it may be either username and password given as wrong, that is other than admin, then from which HTML file we sent a request or we submitted the request, the same page shows. Okay, let me show. Here you see. Now we are giving some username and password. So we need to submit some username and password. So for example, if the given username and password as admin or admin, like this, if we submit it, you see, login success. Now, other than admin and admin, like the username as admin1 and password as admin1, and we submit it, you see the same page showing. That means request is not forwarded here. So that is about include. That means here request is not forwarding. The same page. Same page means from which page we are submitting username and password, the same page showing here. So the request is not forwarding. That is the meaning of that, right? Is it clear? Sai and Venkat?
Uh, yes, Chandra.
Yeah, tell me.
Like using include, we can even give some other page name, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
success.jsp.
Yeah, yeah.
What happens if you give success.jsp in include? I guess it will show in the same
Sorry?
page. If you write the success.jsp in
Okay.
include page is equal to, then what will be the, like, I'm saying like vice versa. Like if you put the instead of forward, if you use include
Okay.
for success.jsp,
No, no. That is not correct because success.jsp is showing success message,
yeah,
right?
it is showing in some other
And
page.
that means that means here I understood your doubt. Like the forward client.jsp, right? You were asking
Yeah, for forward
something like that. Okay.
client.html.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem at all. You can you can specify either JSP or HTML,
No, no,
whatever it may be.
not that, Chandra. See, for forward, uh, JSP colon forward page is equal to success.jsp. So it is
Yeah, okay.
forwarding us to success.jsp.
Yes,
Okay, so that means a new page will open up, right?
yes,
In case of include, it's like
okay,
instead of forwarding the same page, the message will be
okay.
shown, right?
Yeah, right.
Like okay, this forward client.html is the same, is some other page.
Sorry, sorry, come again. Forward client.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. Can you open up forward client.html? What message does it have?
This one.
Okay, that means it is like showing the same page again, right?
That's what I'm telling.
Include, that's what I'm trying to understand. Like forward means it will open up a new page. Include means
Yes.
it will just show the message in the same page if we have any message too, right?
Yeah, right. So is it clear right now?
Yeah, one more dot. Can we show like if it is incorrect password, instead of showing in some other page, can we show in the same page? How
Okay.
can we do that?
Yeah, simply we have to change that HTML file to JSON file.
Okay, to do that.
Right? Understood?
Yeah, like somewhat, Chandra. If
That
you
means,
can
for
show,
example,
yeah, if you can
yeah,
show
yeah.
an
So,
example.
you see that, okay? Invalid username, some password. In the same page only we are showing. But here, the extension should be .js,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Like that we have to.
Yes, ma'am.
So, is it there right now? Clarified?
Yeah.
That is the main thing here. That is about forward and how many actions we discuss here? 2 actions. So what are those? Forward action and include action. See this. Okay, these are the directives and these are nothing but actions, you see. Okay, so understood right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Or shall I repeat?
No, no.
And what about you, Venkat? Is it clear for you? Hello, Venkat?
Clear, Chandra.
Yeah, fine. And come for one more type of action. Use bean action. Let me show use bean action here. Okay, now here you see. Next type of action is nothing but use bean action. Yes. Now here you see, we created a normal class like the employee. That means here we created a Java class to represent some employee related details like ID and name, employee ID and employee name. Okay. Then now to set the given values into these variables, we created setter methods using set ID and set name. Okay. That means when we given a integer value for set ID method, then it accepts the given value and then sets that value into this variable what we created here. And in the same way, name also. Like that we created a class which is called employee and moreover implemented a interface What is meant by interface? We discussed about interface also, right, in the previous sessions. So what about that?
It just has the declarations of the methods.
Sorry?
It has the declaration of the methods that are necessary to
Yes.
be included in the program.
Yes, that means interface represents method declarations, what we are going to use in the future. Okay, understood? Is it clear right now? Fine. Now, for example, if we want to access the properties what we created here, like the properties means like in the form of methods. That means if we need to access any one of the method presented in the Java class from JSP, yes, we must use another action which is called useBean action. Okay, fine. Now how we are going to use, you see, JSP colon useBean id is equals to e and class is equals to employee, like that we written, right? Understood? So what is the meaning of that? Yes. Here our JSP container generates the instance as E. So what we given as ID, okay, exactly it creates an instance like that. Okay. For what is the class we specified? So what is the class name we specified here? Employee class. So for this class, employee class, our container generates the instance as E and then executes the property what we given. Property, what is the property name we given here? Name. That means setter name. Nothing but set name method executes. How we can say that set name method executes? Because we given set property name is equals to E and property is equals to name. When we given like that, then our JSP container executes set name method by passing this value. Okay. In the same way, here also set property. What is the property name given here? ID. So that set ID method executes by container by passing this value. Okay. And then get property. Get properties. Property means get getter method. Like get name method executes. In the same way, get ID method executes. Is it clear right now? Now, here, what are the actions we use here? Spin action, set property action, and get property action, like that, right? Understood all of it right now? Sai and Venkat? Hello? Yes, Sai.
Yes, 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 Chandra.
Yeah, Venkat, okay, fine. What about you, Sai? Yeah.
Yes,
So
Chandra.
let me execute it. Yeah. Is it clear right now what I told you?
Yeah, yeah.
So if we executed this program, you see this. Now here you see what are the values we given for certain methods to the display. That is about actions. Third type of action is nothing but use bean action. Okay, that's about actions and directives. One more directive we have to discuss about. We will discuss the directive in the next session. So totally we will get 3 directives and then followed by 3 actions. Okay. Is it clear right now? Yes, I advocate.
Yes,
Yes,
Chandra.
Chandra.
Yeah. So tomorrow we will discuss about the third type of directive. Okay. Just you finish. Just you have to work on these examples. If any queries are there, then we will just discuss tomorrow.
Yes, Chandra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Yeah.